TrueForm.com and BeMarOdds.com. What is going on, boys? What is going on? Welcome back to episode number 58 of The Lobby. Moving right along, 58 episodes in the books with many more to go. First off, to my right, the one, the only Pipe. What's up, Piper?
Hey, what's going on, man? Just looking forward to the four on the men's and women's and doing a little baseball, a little NBA, and trying to get some coin, man.
Awesome. I think that's the ultimate goal. Moving on down, Sam's in charge. What's up, Sammy? Beautiful haircut today.
Thank you, Bobby. Getting ready to go to Texas. I'm going to do this show and then going to go pack.
Okay.
For guys, we don't pack 2 days in advance. We pack last minute.
Right.
Waking up at 3:30 tomorrow morning. I'm hoping that the snow that's coming to the Northeast doesn't delay any flights, but I should be in Texas by middle afternoon tomorrow, assuming there's no delays.
All right. Well, what's the plan, Sam? When's the wedding? You meeting up with any posters down there? What's the story?
I'm supposed to maybe meet with Diggity, but I guess he's got COVID,
Okay.
So that's not going to happen. No one else has
Right.
reached out. The wedding is on Saturday, so I got a night and a half, basically all Thursday, all Friday to myself.
Okay.
I'm just going to hit the wherever, just going to hit the local bars, any restaurant, hope for some live music, and go bar hopping, get some Southern barbecue,
There you go. You ever been down that way?
Nope, never been to Texas.
Very nice.
What city you going to, Sam?
Stars at night are big and bright.
What city you going to, Sam, in Texas?
Austin.
Oh, okay. I never been to Austin. Well, I've been through there, but never been to visit.
Very nice. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Supposed to be spring here in the Northeast. Doesn't feel like it right now. And as you can tell by the Major League Baseball scheduler, a lot of these games are getting canceled, and rightfully so. But we do have the Final Four this weekend, and also the women's Final Four as well, just as cracking as the men's Final Four. Let's get after it.
Let's do it. And speaking of baseball, Donnie, let's jump right into it. What do you got today? I know a lot of things are being canceled, but what do you got?
It's kind of a tough way to get around things. Like yesterday, my best bet as a sidewise, I did lay some juice, -150 on the Boston Red Sox. Ended up pulling out a game against Oakland in extra innings. I actually went right back to the Red Sox today. They're 0-0 in the bottom of the second inning, so we'll see how that one plays out. But it's hard this time of year. Like, if you're going to take that Philadelphia Phillies game where they've already delayed it multiple times, like Zach Wheeler's going to go out there in the pouring rain and 39-degree temperatures and windy conditions, it just doesn't make too much sense. There's not a lot on the board that I like today outside of taking that Boston Red Sox game. So that's where I sit today. Not much on the board for me, guys.
All right, Donnie, good luck with that. Sammy, what do you got in baseball, if anything, today?
Yeah, baseball, I am off to a horrible start in MLB in JDS's contest, $2,000 giveaway. I'm currently in last place of 47 entries, the exact opposite of the college basketball, where me and Pipe came in second, third, JDS came in first in the college basketball. I am last place out of 47 entries, so I'm definitely the one to fade. I like San Diego tonight, and I'm on the San Fran and Dodgers under 8.5. But shout out to the top three guys in JDS's contest, 6-0, 4-0, 4-0.
Wow.
W, Weird,
Awesome.
D-H, Ristoff, and Red Right Reb. So we got some good guys off to a good start, but that is not me.
Very nice. Well, you know what, Sam? It is a long season. You'll be able to get that back.
Absolutely. Long season.
Pipe, do you got anything in the baseball today?
Yeah, I'm in that JDS contest because he said, "Hey, Pike, play." So I'm like, okay.
Right? Why
so
not?
I put that under. I had Baltimore under 7.5. That wasn't going to play, so I talked to Sammy, and I'm like, "Hey, Sammy, I'm going to switch if that game don't go." So I'm on Boston under 8. It's looking good right now, and I know that don't count, but I posted it. Anyways, Cleveland under 7.5 is my only play after that Boston under, man.
All righty. Good luck with that.
Hopefully that Baltimore bet goes through, though. I mean, dropped half a run from last night.
Hopefully so. Switching over gears to the NBA, Sammy, besides the Knicks, what else you got for us?
Well, the Knicks lost yesterday to Miami. It's actually a pretty tough. You got 9 games left or 7 games left of the regular season, about 10 days to go. The Knicks currently got the 5 seed tied with the 4 seed, but they're still a game and a half up on the play-in series. So that's really all you want to do as a Knicks fan is to get about 3 more wins to end the season, which should be enough to not be in that play-in series. But tonight I do like Oklahoma City to cover the 9 against Boston and the Suns -5.5 over Cleveland.
All righty, Sammy. Good luck with those. Donnie, what do you got on the hardwood?
Yeah, 2 games tonight. I took a prop bet. Also did a couple videos here for BMR today. The Lakers and the Wizards. Both teams playing on back-to-back. It's a pretty healthy number. Up from 234 this morning on the total to 235.5. I do expect LeBron James and Anthony Davis to play, even though it was a back-to-back yesterday. They didn't play over 29 minutes apiece, so they should be ready for tonight. But took D'Angelo Russell over 3.5 made three-point shots at a plus 128 price. You figure if LeBron James and Anthony Davis going to play around those mid-20s in minutes here, D'Angelo Russell is going to get all the time he wants, and the Wizards play absolutely no defense. So I took him to make 4 3-point shots tonight at a plus 128 price. Then I took the Pelicans. You want to do Magic playing good basketball. Winners of 2 straight games. The Pelicans, losers of 2 straight games. But you take a look at where they sit in the seedings. The Pelicans have no room for error at this point here before they absolutely get dropped back into that playing round. And as Sammy points out, nobody wants to be in that round. So I took them today at a -4 price. It's now up to 4.5 across the board. So I think the Pelicans will be able to handle their business against the Magic at home tonight.
All righty, Donnie. Good luck with that pipe. You got anything on the hardwood in the NBA for us?
Yes, sir. I got one under, and that's the Grizzlies against the Bucks under 218.5. I think that's going to be a defensive game. I really like that under tonight.
All righty, Pipe. Good luck with that. And, over 12 million people, Donnie, have watched Caitlin Clark last night in that game. Over 12 million people. My narrative on it, it's probably a lot of women. I don't think a lot of guys are interested in women's college basketball. Did you catch any of the game? Did you have any action on it?
I didn't have any action on it, to be honest, but actually I did have a little bit. I took a prop at plus 290 for Caitlin Clark to get a triple-double. Came up 3 rebounds short. But I got to be honest, I never liked women's college basketball throughout my life. It's usually like the top story of the day is like, oh, boy, UConn lost. Wow, that's a big deal. Okay, they go 35-1 and win the national championship every single year. But I paid attention to it this year, and starting actually last year's final game between LSU and Iowa, I thought it was compelling, and I knew those players were coming back this year. So I actually was part of the 12.3 that really enjoyed that game against LSU. And for a moment, caught myself saying, this might be a better game than the men's college game, the way it's opening with the 3-point shots flowing. So I'm invested this week, and I think it's going to be great. And college basketball for women's never been hotter. The key, though, is once these superstars leave, like Caitlin Clark going to the WNBA, Angel Reese going to the WNBA, will the younger generation, like a Paige Beckers for UConn, who still has a year to go, and Juju Watkins out at USC, be able to continue that torch? But this is probably the best overall year we've ever seen in women's college basketball.
Yes, definitely so. And a large majority of that is due to the phenomenon Caitlin Clark for sure. Yep. Sammy, did you catch any of that game?
Yeah, I actually watched it from start to finish, and I'm going to disagree with you. I'm sure it wasn't a lot more women. I'm sure there's a lot more men watching it because of Caitlin Clark and because of the action that we can now bet on the college women's basketball. So you got the popularity, and then you got the rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese, which was a great game. Those are the 2 best stars on that on that floor. But I think the combination of the rivalry of the last year's final and the fact that there was probably a lot of people betting on it just to bet on Caitlin Clark. Her prop, she was over 32.5 points. She hit like 37, 38. She was a couple rebounds away from the triple-double. She was over on her assist prop. So the fact that there's gambling props out there, that's going to boost the popularity of most men. And I think there was a lot more men that probably watch it for that reason. And going into it this weekend, I'm actually going to be betting on Iowa to take the semifinals, but I think South Carolina, they're undefeated. They're the team to beat, and I think they're going to take it in the finals. But, it's nice to have just as much fun watching the women's as it is watching the men. But I didn't fill out a bracket, I will say that.
Yeah.
Right. Sammy, I just noticed, what's up with the shirt? My neck? What else did it say?
It's a Snakes t-shirt. It's yeah. Nothing about you're thinking of the other one, my neck, my back,
yes,
and my this says my neck, my back, my anxiety attack from snakes. Yeah. I am not a snake person, so this was a Secret Santa gift last year from a coworker because I'm not into snakes. I saw a snake on the golf course. I freaked out, even though it was a milk snake. That's a nice part about upstate New York. We don't have to worry about snakes. The worst thing is maybe a gardener snake. But I'm the type that if I ever saw a gardener snake, I'd be moving out of my house, moving out. I'm done. No snakes up in here. People have they're crazies. You're psychos.
Pipe, did you catch any of that women's game?
No, I did not. But I do have a pick. I think that I think Iowa covers that spread against UConn. That's all I got to say.
All righty. Well, since we jumped into it, since you jumped into it, let's go to you. You have any 4 with the remaining games? What do you like?
on the men's side?
That's the only really game I like. I mean,
women's side.
as far as the numbers go, man, I think that number's way low. I think they cover that 2.5 spread easily.
All right, Donnie, let's go to you on the women's side. You like anything?
No, didn't really bet anything there. You do have a heavy favorite here if you just pick the tournament winner right now in South Carolina. So it's interesting where you're getting odds of like 7-1 or 8-1 for UConn to cut down the nets, which I think is interesting. But the one thing I would say about ratings, we are expecting South Carolina to get to that final. And it's good that actually Iowa and UConn are matching up because you're going to get one of those two superstar players in the final to try to take down South Carolina. So I do think the ratings will be there. And also good for the women's game, which realized years ago, let's not go match up here with the men's Final Four. They go Final Four Friday, where the men go Saturday. They go championship game all by themselves on Sunday, and the men go Monday. Actually,
Makes sense.
Probably would make more sense, to be honest, to have the men's Final Four Friday and have a ratings bonanza on Sunday afternoon like the Super Bowl does, but they like to go Monday night. So we'll be watching all the way through. But I'm rooting for Iowa just because I want to see Caitlin Clark end that career on a high note because she's been so crazy. And what better way to do it than beating UConn and then the insurmountable object in South Carolina in the final. No betting options just yet for me. I'll probably pick on some props though a little bit later.
All righty, Donnie, thank you. Sammy, Final Four, women's side. What do you like?
Yeah, I'm going to be taking Iowa over UConn and any prop on Caitlin Clark over. You just got to ride the hottest shooter, the best player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. It makes sense. And real quick, guys, we're going to jump into the men's Final Four coming up here in 1 second. But I want each of you to think about, I'll give you a few minutes. I want a highlight and a low light of your betting career. So a great come from behind victory where you had the winner, or maybe you were up 30 and the team, lost in double overtime. Give me a highlight. Give me a low light. I'll give you guys a few minutes each to think about it. Yeah. Sammy, let's jump in with you. Final Four, men's side. You're looking at the bracket here. What do you like?
Yeah, in reference to the Final Four, I think that's the first time ever that both sides are above 10 points or flirting with double digits as far as being a favorite. UConn, rightfully so. They've won every one of their last 10 games by 13-plus points, and I don't see any reason why they're not going to cover again this weekend. So I'm going to take them minus the spread. I think Purdue is ultimately going to be going to the finals, but I do like NC State, their magical run. They're the definition of March Madness. They're a buzzer beater 3-pointer away in the semifinals against Virginia in the ACC tournament, away from not even making to the tournament. And now they are 2 games away from cutting down the nets. They got Burns there that's getting offensive line mark looks from NFL scouts, or he has the ability to keep playing in the NBA potentially. But that guy is just a monster as far as defending. But obviously Zach Edey's not really going to have any issue there, being 7 inches taller than him, but Burns is much wider than him. So that'll be a fun matchup to watch down in the paint. But ultimately, I think it's going to be UConn and Purdue, with UConn cutting down the nets, the first back-to-back champion in many, many years, but rightfully so. They're the team to beat.
All righty, Sammy, thank you. Pipe, what do you got?
Well, I only got one play, Bobby, and I'm liking that under in the Purdue game, 146 I'm seeing.
All righty, good luck with that. And last but certainly not least, Dottie, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm with Sammy there. Monday night, we're probably going to get UConn and Purdue, and I think that's what the people want to see, and certainly the networks want to see that as well. And that should be a ratings extravaganza. It should be fun to watch it play out. But 2 wagers for me, the NC State-Purdue game. I actually think NC State has the ability to hang around, getting 9.5 points. You take a look at an NC State team that wasn't very good during the regular season, just your average college basketball team, then caught fire by winning 5 games in 5 nights in the ACC, and then 4 more victories here in the tournament. They're playing with extreme confidence. I'm not saying they can win, but you give me the 9.5 points, I'll take that. Game number 2, the game of the night, Alabama and Connecticut. I mean, we're just expecting a Hulk smash here from Connecticut. The odds maker setting it at 11.5. We'll see if it gets to 12s, as some outlets are currently showing there. But I actually took a team total under on Alabama, which is at 74.5. The one thing we know is Alabama loves to shoot the 3-point shot. They do it with volume, and they make their fair share. But Connecticut is sensational at, number 1, defending the 3-point line and chasing you off of the 3-point line. And if you're not used to scoring a lot of points in the paint, which you can't really do that much against Connecticut anyway, I don't see how they win this basketball game. But instead of saying I want to lay 12 or so points, which means I need a double-digit win, I'll just take Alabama under 74.5. If Alabama goes over that, they probably covered the line anyway, and I was wrong. So I'll just take the under on the team total with Alabama in this game.
All right, Donnie, good luck with that. Let's jump into a Q&A question from Carolina Kid. I think this is more of a question for the posters, but we'll go ahead and answer it ourselves. He wants to know, do the posters here like the contests on the forum, and is there any way to make them better? In my opinion, they definitely do like the contest on the forum. I'm assuming, Carolina Kid, that you're talking about your specific contest that you run. If not, I apologize. I'm assuming that that's where you're going with this question. Is there any way to make them better? I don't think so. I like your current format of going in and asking the posters what they want to see in each individual contest rather than you just coming up with the idea on your own. That's just my personal opinion. Sammy, how would you make his contests better?
Yeah, I do like the way that BMR overall diversifies their contests, whether it's BMR as a forum, doing the March Madness contest, doing the college football pick 7, the NFL pick 7, any other contest. LT Profits run the NHL Daily, the MLB Dog of the Day, other various contests for either baller coins. Even the poker, you could say, is a contest sponsored by BMR, and then other various posters. Carolina Kid throws some other contests that are different from the
JDS.
Yep, of course. JDS
JDS.
throwing the MLB contest out there, but Carolina Kid throwing a contest for a random team to make the Final Four. That's something different than the norm. But again, the 613 NCAA contest. So between BMR as a forum, between different posters putting up their own personal money, it's always great to have different variety of contests to give the posters more free opportunities to win some real money. So any way to throw contests out there, we definitely appreciate it.
Exactly. Yes. That we do for sure. And since we're on the Q&A, let's go to the last one here from BMR Jeannie. She wants to know, what are your plans for the weekend, and are you guys going to invite friends over for a beer Saturday to watch the Final Four? Sammy, I know you're going to be going to a wedding, so you're probably are going to be able to catch any of the games.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those where it all depends on the venue as far as what they have as far as TVs. I know at one of my cousin's wedding, they had TVs in the bathroom. And I know at my personal wedding, I don't remember there being any TVs when I got married. So it really just depends on the venue. And if there's games on, of course, we'll be keeping an eye on it. And if not, we all got phones. So there's always a way to check on the scores.
So there were TVs in the bathroom, but nowhere else?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that wedding was a while ago. I think there was TVs around, but I definitely remember there being TVs in the bathroom. That was yeah.
Wow. So, Dottie, what's your plans for the weekend? You going to be inviting any friends over? What's your plans for the Final Four?
Probably just relaxing, but all throughout, like, I want to say, like, my childhood, like being in grade school through middle school and high school, is usually a big party every Saturday night, whether it's at a friend's house or a family party. That was the way we used to watch the Final Four. Then certainly getting into college and a little bit later, going out for the Final Four and watching it maybe at a sports bar. And now I'm into my 40s. I'm more comfortable here on my couch, relaxing, chilling out, maybe an edible or two, having some bets on the game and just relaxing. That's where I'm at in my life right now.
All righty, Pipe. What's your plans for the weekend? What are you going to be doing for the Final Four?
I'm just going to be out here with family, man. Probably throw some ribs on the grill, smoke me a joint, and enjoy the day and the games.
Very nice. Very nice. Sammy, what do you got on the tennis court for us?
Yeah, in reference to tennis, they have officially moved to clay court. So you got 5 tournaments spread around 4 countries. There's 2 of them in the U.S., one of them in Charleston, which is in a rain delay right now, as we've kind of been talking about. East Coast getting hit with rain and some weather right now. And there's a men's tournament in Houston, Texas, which is going on. So that should be starting up for this afternoon and this evening. I won yesterday, and so far have a couple. I think I'm 1 win and 1 loss going into the afternoon and night session.
All righty. What is the thread at? What's the record all time in that thread?
I'm like plus 2 units overall.
Okay.
Positive.
Awesome.
Yeah, positive overall.
Great. Donnie, shifting gears a little bit from sports. April 8th, solar eclipse. You going to be checking it out?
It's kind of close to my area, if that, but I'm always enamored, which I actually think I wish it goes right over my town to really partake in. All right, let's go out at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's bright and sunny, and all of a sudden it feels like it's black outside, which is wild because I saw the last one and all the hype around it. Don't look at it. But again, being on the East Coast, we were far away from the last one here. But I'll get a kick out of that stuff. I love stuff like that, and I just wish it was closer to where I was. I would love to try where, like Buffalo, wherever it is, go out and get as close as you can to it. I think that's pretty cool.
Definitely. Sammy, what are you going to be doing for it? You're probably going to be at work.
Yeah, I'll be at work, and ironically, one of my managers is going to Burlington, Vermont, to take the day off just to see that 5 minutes of that of the nice sweet spot in there. I'm just
Wow.
gonna hope that some customer comes in with those random glasses. If not, then I'll see pictures and videos online and say that I experienced it.
Pipe, how about you?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'll see it online, guys.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning the same way. I mean, if I'm out and about during the time it happens, great. If not, I'm sure there's going to be, being out here in Vegas, I don't think we're going to get a very clear. It's going to be a partial eclipse out here, so I'm anxious to see the pictures from like Sammy and Donnie's area where it's
Yeah.
more of a total eclipse.
Yeah, yeah.
That should
But
be a song.
it should be. It should be.
Great
But
karaoke song.
Sammy, let's jump over to you. Give me a highlight of your betting career. I know you've been on the forums. I know you've been doing this betting thing for quite a while. Give me a highlight of your career, something that stands out to you.
I mean, definitely putting me on the spot. I'm not really good under immediately just thinking like that, but I could just think of, so the first thing that was going through my mind is any Super Bowls, any March Madness games, any finals that I was on the right side of. So one of them that I was on the winning side of that I could think of is the New England Patriots win when Seattle failed to run the ball with Marshawn Lynch, the Malcolm Butler interception at the 1 yard line.
I
had
loved it.
New England for that Super Bowl, so I definitely feel like that was one of the very lucky Super Bowls that I was on the New England side and got that turnover. Why did they not run the ball at least one time to Marshawn Lynch? That was
What
insane.
a way to win.
That's initially one of those that comes right to my mind. And then on the losing side, I've definitely talked about it. I had North Carolina futures when Villanova hit the 3-pointer to win at the buzzer in 2018. I remember that one. I was on the wrong side of that one. Again, I could probably come up with 50 more, but right off the top of my head, those were two of them that stand out for me. Yeah. One on the winning and one on the losing side.
All righty. Thank you. Pipe, how about you?
As old as I am, guys, I gotta say it was this year's Super Bowl. I had pretty big amount on KC and Patrick Mahomes MVP. I can't say that. I can't say that I've won more than that ever. But my biggest loser, I'll never forget, and Donnie probably remembers this: Washington against Philly. I got the under in that game like 2 years ago. I got a real big bet on it, and Jalen Hurts throws a pass to a receiver. He laterals it. Washington guy scoops it, kills my under. No time on the clock.
Of course.
You remember that one, right, Donnie?
Yeah, exactly. They're the ones that kill you at that point at the end of a football game where it doesn't matter just to you. It's like, and again, like the Eagles weren't like, guys, just let them score. It's no big deal because we lost anyway. Those are heartbreaking. And I feel like they never go your way, but always go against you, Pipe. I agree.
That was crazy to end like that. I mean, it's in the 30s. I got under 40, whatever.
Yep.
End of story.
It's just like if a team is in a blowout, they put the third, second string in, and they just proceed to run up the score and kill your under. Same premise, unfortunately.
Yep.
Donnie, let's go to you. Same question. Highlight, low light. I know you've been doing this for a while. I'm sure you got some stories.
I got to tell you, the one I thought Sammy was going to mine, but it does deal with the New England Patriots. It was against the Atlanta Falcons. All week long for the 2 weeks leading up to it, I was building a case to take the Atlanta Falcons. I'm like, they're younger, they're faster, they should be able to put it on turf here. And watching that game that Friday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to bet with Tom Brady. I know it's the public way, but I just think it's the right thing to do. And I remember watching that football game midway through that game going like, I'm the biggest idiot on the planet. I told everyone you're supposed to take Atlanta in this situation. It's how it's supposed to be done, let alone the Patriots come all the way back and then win in overtime to cover the spread. That was found money. That's when I said, yes, I won, but I don't want any credit for that. I'll take the money, but I was completely wrong. I wanted Atlanta, and Atlanta should have won that game. Now, the worst beat I ever had, this is coming back in my days where I still had a couple hoagie shops, and it was on Christmas Eve. And I stayed behind after we close up to watch the finish of the Bahamas Bowl, which I believe I had roughly a 5-touchdown lead heading into the fourth quarter, laying, I think what it was, 2.5 points, and ended up losing that game on the final play of the game, which was a hook lateral. And then they went for 2 instead of going to overtime, which would have given me a chance to win by a field goal. And they crushed me. I left there like, you ruined my Christmas at this point. Because when you're up that many points, you're like, this game is done. Like, you're already counting your money and moving on, and you watch it slip away going, it's still 3 touchdowns. It's still 2 touchdowns. They still need a miracle, and you lose that game. I'll remember that till the day I die. The Bahamas Bowl, unbelievable loss. About a decade ago now, it feels like.
Ouch.
I'll tell you what, that's a hell of a comparison, man. You went from a high to a low to a high to a low.
Oh,
wow.
My goodness.
Roller coaster.
Yep, that's the best way to sum it up. But every bet seems like a roller coaster.
That's
That's for
crazy.
sure.
That's why we love it.
Yep, exactly right. But thank you, gentlemen. Good luck on all your wagers this weekend on the men's and women's Final Four, guys, and we will see you on the forum.
Everybody stay
See
safe,
ya.
guys. Peace.